Megan, look what I've got.
Is that one of those personal assistants?
It sure is, and she's going to help us out today.
How so?
Thanks, Pete and Megan. I'll show you how smart your house can get. We'll find out how smart appliances are talking to one another and making everyday tasks easier. We'll show you how cold water washing could save energy in your laundry room. We'll take a tour of the house built with an eye on sustainability and a smart way to heat and cool your home. Next on PowerHouse.
Our homes are filled with tools to make our lives easier. It's in our DNA to invent the next best thing. Look in your kitchen and laundry room. They're full of appliances doing the work for you. Those appliances now are smart enough to act like a personal assistant. Meet Kelly Mills. She's a senior merchandising specialist at GE Appliances. She knows everything about this next generation of connected appliances. She's visiting us at Slager Appliances. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Pete.
Connected appliances, what makes them connected?
You know, for us at GE Appliances, Pete, it's all about real life, real connected. It's about having benefit in the home, it being a smart, technology-filled home that makes life easier. So we really provide appliances that give you convenience, peace of mind, and optimal performance in the home.
Well, that's exciting as we talk about the evolution of the smart home to the next level. What are some of the features we can look forward to?
Yeah, so we really have some great partnerships out there today. So we have a partnership with Amazon Alexa and the Google Assistant. So that gives you hands-free capability by using your voice to simply command one of the appliances in the home. We also have partnerships with Drop, which actually is a recipe app. So if I'm baking, I can actually preheat my oven directly from that recipe as I'm baking. And other additional partners such as Amazon Dash replenishment services. So I really never run out of detergent when I really need that soccer uniform for the big game.
Making our life easier through technology. And as we stand next to, I'm looking at a beautiful new refrigerator here, and I'm zeroed in a little bit on a device for coffee, right?
Absolutely. This is our beautiful black slate GE Cafe refrigerator. And as you notice, it actually has the Keurig K-Cup brewer right in the door.
And this can be controlled. I could be upstairs getting out of the shower and I want to get my coffee rolling. So tell us how this connected refrigerator works.
Absolutely. I can actually take my phone and schedule this to have coffee started at 6 a.m. So basically it's starting that preheat process to get hot water ready. I come downstairs and I turn this knob and the coffee's dispensed for me.
Okay, and show us how, I mean, this pops out, right?
It does. So this Keurig K-Cup piece just opens up at the dispenser at the top and you pop your K-Cup in, coffee or tea or whatever you prefer. You slide that back in and turn the knob and it's ready to go.
And again, the safety level's on here and it shows the how the water's heating on the fridge right here.
Absolutely. Gives you kind of a countdown, so to speak, and you've already got that process moving, so you know it's ready to go when you're ready for that cup of coffee.
Now, I hear about warnings about hackers can connect to devices that are connected to the internet. How does GE approach that with the connected devices?
Yeah, that's a great question. So at GE Appliances, we take security very seriously. We have a dedicated team that really monitors and safeguards consumer information and consumer data so that it's always protected.
Now, your refrigerators is just one appliance here in the kitchen. You also have with the oven connection, right?
We do. We actually have whole home capability, so we have a great slide-in range I'd like to show you.
Let's take a look.
Really want to show you a demonstration here. Really, this technology is so beneficial in the kitchen, especially if you have your hands dirty and you're ready to get into a recipe, or you may not even necessarily know how to cook a perfect dish. This is going to help you. Alexa, tell Geneva I want beef tenderloin.
You'd like me to set your oven convection roast at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for beef tenderloin, right?
Right.
Oh, that's really neat. So tell us a little bit about Geneva.
Geneva is really the skill or the action that you would use to communicate to the GE Appliances through the voice command capable device, whether it be the Amazon Alexa device or a Google Assistant device.
Okay, so if I'm remote and I program in for my oven, but what if someone else gives it directions in the house?
Geneva will respond to anyone in the home, so we recommend it's just adults that are using the appliance technology.
Okay, all right, so it's smart enough to go beyond what
Absolutely, you could turn the oven on and I could turn it right back off.
Oh, that is really neat.
So really you can see, Pete, that this technology can really do a lot in the kitchen and it really makes things easier in your everyday life.
And Kelly, I see it right here, so it comes up on the screen on the oven here.
Absolutely, and it notifies you that it's actually preheating, and also in your app on your phone you would see that your oven is preheating.
For someone like myself, I may not know what temperature to put my beef tenderloin on. This has it already programmed in.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of it, making it much easier and simplistic, so it's everyday life. It becomes something I want to use every day.
Now, I know kitchen appliances connected, but you also have other appliances as well that are
Absolutely, great question. So we really want that smart connection, that connected home experience. So we also offer laundry products as well as water heaters and window air conditioners.
Our PowerHouse viewers are always into finding out about expenses and costs. What's the charge for smart appliances?
Yeah, so most of our appliances today, we have over 100 models available currently. Most of those models are connected through the hardware that's built into the device, so you're not paying any additional fee, which is fantastic. Other than that, some of the models actually have a component that you can purchase for just under $50 to connect it.
So that's not much for this great technology.
Not at all.
Wow. Well, Kelly, the innovation here that you have with these GE appliances is really neat to see. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thanks very much.
And if you'd like more information about GE connected appliances, visit our website at powerhousetv.com or at geappliances.com/connect.
Here's something you may not know. The number of smart devices in households is on the rise. The most popular smart items bought are thermostats and alarms. Take a look at this house behind me. You may think it looks like a regular house, but it's not. If you look a little closer, you can see that it's actually made out of shipping containers. It's a trend that's spreading across the country. Some people are using them to create tiny homes. They're sturdier and can be more efficient than a traditionally built home. Here's the team that wanted to see how they could make the most energy-efficient home out of cargo containers. This is John, and he's one of the partners of the group. And John, explain to us what we're looking at structurally here.
We're looking at a combination of shipping containers and conventional construction. So we have 4 45-foot shipping containers that we've utilized, and we've combined that with stick-built construction, which is the garage and the stair tower.
And you've just kind of stacked these on top of one another to fit your design.
Absolutely, yes.
Explain to us why you came up with this idea.
Well, about 4 years ago, I started looking for a cabin for personal use, and I wanted something secure, and I wanted something very structurally sound. And so I ran across, in my searches, shipping container homes. And so it just became an interest of mine. A good friend of mine and neighbor, Justin Zier, who's another partner. He became interested. His father, who was another partner in this project, also became interested. And just by chance, this lot came up for sale, and we had been looking to do a project together. We live right up the hill, so it was very convenient for us. And Justin called me one morning, said, "The lot's for sale, are you interested?" I said, "Sure." And that evening, we had an offer put in, and we decided to do this.
Just like a hobby in your backyard,
yeah,
really.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, are you building this for you or one of the partners?
No, it's a spec home, and it's available for sale.
Okay, I can't wait to see inside.
Oh,
Let's go.
Great, thanks.
The home itself consists of 4 cargo containers stacked in a staggered pattern on top of each other, with additional areas built from wood. Casey is another of the partners, and when you guys were mapping out what kind of house you wanted here, what were your priorities?
First of all, to be eco-friendly, all the way from the products we use in the house all the way to the process of the build. So far we've done that with LED lights throughout the house, solar panels. Our heating cooling system is one of the most energy efficient on the market. Our appliances are not only energy efficient, but they're smart as well. And we have an upgraded insulation package.
Great. You mentioned insulation. What kind of insulation did you use here in this house?
A little bit of everything, actually. We have a closed cell on the metal container, and that's one of the things, the difference between a wood structure and a metal structure. We did modify the insulation design to accommodate the metal for the transfer of heat and cooling into the living quarters, but also helped out close up any penetration points in the house for mechanical or windows and such.
So is that why you have it on the ceilings here? I noticed there's insulation between the floors as well.
Correct. That's blown in between the containers. The ceiling, basically, because it's metal, and that transfer all the way outside, so the heat and cooling comes in. So the ceiling was sprayed to prevent that transfer into the living quarters.
Great. I'm going to go take a look around with Justin.
Okay.
Thanks so much. And Justin is the last member of the team we'll be talking to today. Now, what's the overall square footage of this house?
It's around 3,000.
Okay. And bedrooms and baths?
It's 4 bathroom, 4 bedroom. So there's a lot of house here.
There is a lot. You wouldn't guess that by looking at it from the street.
No, having the finished basement really helped out achieving that square footage. And it really feels like it when you walk in and you have that open concept here.
This staircase is beautiful. Tell us about this design.
Thanks. Yeah, that wasn't something that was really part of the original plan. When we we're designing this originally, we realized that we needed to meet a minimum width, and we weren't there with the 2 containers, so we needed to expand on that. So we decided to put the stairs on the outside, so it wasn't in the middle of our floor plan, gave us more of an open concept, and then put these big windows in here that are letting all that natural light in and everything else
It's
too.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's really worked out well. We're very happy with it.
When did you start this process?
About 6 months ago.
And the durability factor, was that a consideration?
Absolutely. I mean, we were really interested by the metal and everything like that. I mean, the waterproof, fireproof, it's just, they're very strong. They're built to last.
I've got one last question for you. I'm sure the viewers are curious to know if this is something they can afford. How does this home compare to a similar home that's traditionally built?
The comps on this home versus a traditional stick built are pretty similar. I mean, a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom with about 3,000 square feet is going to fall in about the same price range in most neighborhoods.
Great, so people should be encouraged by that. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you.
If you'd like more information about sustainable living, go to our website at powerhousetv.com.
Kitchen appliances are expensive to replace. That's why you want to keep them running in tip-top shape so they last as long as possible. Now, there are some easy things you can do to help avoid expensive repairs or replacements. The hardest working appliance in your kitchen is the refrigerator. It's always working to keep food at a consistent temperature. It does this by a motor pushing a gas refrigerant through coils to soak up the heat and keep the contents inside cool. The coils get dirty and dusty over time and will make the refrigerator work harder. You should clean them every 6 months or sooner if you have pets. The coils are usually located at the bottom of the refrigerator behind a kick plate or in the rear of the refrigerator behind a panel. Older models have them exposed in the back. So how do you clean them? You need a vacuum cleaner with a crevice tool and duster or a refrigerator coil brush, and they cost about $5. Use the vacuum cleaner to suck up large particles and dust. Then while you have the vacuum cleaner tip near the coils, use the duster or brush to get in between the coils and wipe loose any other debris. And that's it. Replace the kick plate and you're good for another 6 months. For more ideas, visit our website at powerhousetv.com. We're going to continue our tour of the cargo home by taking a look at the cooling and heating system. Meet Gary Schlotterbeck. Gary has installed heating and cooling systems for years, but this system is a little different than you would expect in a home. Gary, let's talk about the heating and cooling system for this home. Typically, you might see it more in a commercial application?
That's correct. The product that we're using has an inverter technology compressor, but it also incorporates variable refrigerant flow. And you see more of that type of application done on maybe apartment houses or offices where you're trying to individually zone areas and that type of thing.
All right, you mentioned variable refrigerant flow. Help us understand what that means.
A good way to understand that is if your car's on cruise control and you're just moving refrigerant back and forth from the outdoor and the indoor, as each zone calls for heating or cooling, then it basically just applies more refrigerant or more BTUs to that area.
As we look here, Gary, help us understand a little bit what we're seeing in that process.
So the refrigerant comes in from outside and it goes to this branch box. And as you can see, each one of these branch boxes are individually labeled so that that's the area that it's controlling.
Okay.
So you have your kitchen, the upstairs, and the living room, and so on.
Now, here in the upper Midwest, we can get kind of chilly, but this system will work down, you were saying, down to minus 13?
That's correct. This system is designed to run down to a negative 13 degrees, but in this application, we went ahead and put an air handler in to handle the basement and some of the common areas, and that has a little bit of strip heat in it just to buffer those days.
Okay, yeah, those days where we might get below minus 13?
That's correct.
All right. The variable refrigerant flow systems are like enhanced versions of a ductless mini split. The outdoor unit is connected to several indoor units that may call for different conditions. When the indoor unit is in cooling mode, they act as evaporators. When it's in heating mode, it will act as a condenser. So you're really bringing together, as we look here, a couple different technologies for this home.
Mm-hmm. Off the branch boxes, we flow to 5 or 6 different zones in this home.
Okay.
And each zone has a different indoor product. For example, we have a standard wall-hung cassette here, whereas upstairs we're using ceiling cassettes.
Okay. Should we take a look upstairs?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So Gary, we're on the main floor now. Talk to us a little bit about the units that are here.
Well, up here we use what we call ceiling cassette units. We utilize these so that they could protect their wall space for hanging pictures or whatever they want to do for the inside decor. This unit's kind of unique in the fact that it has a sensor in it. It's called IC sensor, so that if somebody's sitting in a chair or something, air will not blow direct on it. It'll rotate and move the air away from them. So it really makes it very comfortable.
Sure, sure. Let's talk about the cost of this heating and cooling system. First, the installation costs, what we're looking at.
On an average home like this, you're going to be up around $15,000 to $17,000 installed.
Is that a little bit more than a conventional system might be?
It is a little bit more than a conventional system, but with it being an inverter technology on the compressor, we're only cooling and heating certain areas of the home at any given time. So that if you're not occupying the upstairs, you're saving energy up there. As we're heating and cooling down here, you can anticipate saving somewhere around 40% on your cooling.
So that's significant. So I might pay a little bit more on the installation, but my annual costs in terms of heating and cooling because of that zone system are going to be substantially lower.
Not only that, but the level of comfort in your house is going to be significantly different.
And you were saying the system outside, it's very quiet.
Very quiet. You know, they're going to have high-end appliances in here, dishwashers that run, you know, some tremendous decibel ratings. We can expect the same out of these type of units.
It'll be that quiet of a system.
That's correct.
Well, Gary, it's fascinating on the technology and what you've shared in terms of the heating and cooling system here. And if you'd like to learn more about mini splits and how they work, visit our website at powerhousetv.com.
Here's something you may not know. According to the United States Census Bureau and the American Housing Survey, 65% of homes have central air conditioning, and another 22% have room or window units. The amount of energy the United States uses each year to power air conditioning units is about the same amount of energy consumed by the entire continent of Africa. Here's something you may not know. There are two ways to reduce the amount of energy used for washing clothes. Use less water and use cooler water. According to the Department of Energy, switching your temperature setting from hot to warm can cut a load's energy use in half. If you have a big family, you know that washing and drying clothes can turn into a daily chore. In fact, the Department of Energy says the average family does about 400 loads of laundry in a year. That's a lot of time spent heating water for the washer and heating air for the dryer. And all of these loads add up to about $380 just to wash your clothes. So I'm going to give you some easy tips to help you cut that cost in half. First of all, it doesn't matter about the size of the load inside your washer. It uses the same amount of energy based on the settings that you select to wash your clothes, whether it's a small load or a large load. So, if you have a small amount of clothes to wash, wait a while until you can fill up that washer. You'll get the most out of your energy usage. Cold water will usually do just as good a job of cleaning your clothes as hot water. Heating the water in your clothes washer uses about 90% of the energy your washer needs to clean your clothes. So unless you're washing oily stains, washing in cold water will work just as well. So switch from hot to warm water to cut your energy use in half, and switching to cold water will cut your cost even further. Here's another easy way to save energy in your laundry room. A lot of washers have a sanitary cycle. This super hot cycle uses a lot of energy to heat the water to wash your clothes, so only use it if absolutely necessary. When your washing cycle is done, use the high-speed spin cycle to get as much water out of your clothes as possible. The spinning action of the washer will use less energy than the time it takes for the heating cycle of your dryer. If your clothes are really damp, your dryer will work longer and use more energy to get those clothes dry. And if the clothing is less damp when you put it in the dryer, it won't take as much energy to dry them. Plus, always make sure your lint filter is clean. A buildup of lint will make it harder for your dryer to exhaust the moist air away from your clothes. Use lower heat settings on your dryer instead of high heat. Even though you'll have a longer cycle of drying, you'll still use less energy and be less likely to over-dry your clothing. Plus, if you have a cool-down cycle option on your dryer, use it. It allows your clothes to finish drying with the heat remaining in the dryer. And if you have the choice, why not put your clothes outside to air dry on a clothesline? The fresh air will do the job for you, and best of all, you won't be using any energy to dry your clothes. So how much money can these few things save you? Well, by washing your clothing in cold water only, you'll save on heating costs, which adds up to about $66 a year. Using the faster speed spin on your washer to reduce the amount of drying time, and you'll save up to $11 per year. And if you use the lowest water setting on your washer, you'll conserve up to 1,200 gallons of water per year. But even better, if you wait for full loads of laundry to run the wash and reduce the total number of loads each year by 25%, you could save up to 3,200 gallons of water. And finally, how old are your laundry appliances? If you're in the market for a new washer or dryer, make sure you look for the Energy Star label. Energy Star clothes washers use about 45% less water and 25% less energy than regular washers. That will help you save about $45 a year on your utility bill compared to a regular washer. And a new Energy Star dryer uses up to 20% less energy than its regular counterpart. Looking for an Energy Star dryer could save you up to $245 over the lifetime of the dryer.
Thanks, Pete and Megan. There was a lot of great information today.
And thank you for your help today. It made it a lot easier.
It really did. Demonstrating how to take full advantage of smart appliances was a breeze when you can use a personal home assistant to show you just how that technology works.
And Megan, in the future, I think we'll be able to communicate with more appliances besides those found in the kitchen.
And it was really an interesting tour of a new home under construction using cargo containers.
The builders really did some out-of-the-box thinking with how they are heating and cooling the home.
Yep, it was really a different way to build an energy-efficient home. Plus, if you just look at how you handle your laundry, you can save a lot of energy and water. And it really helps the environment.
Those are just some other ways you can help make your house a powerhouse. Have you thought about adding a third host?